Hello. I'd like to talk a little bit about sustainable peace, especially as it pertains to the current crisis between Israel and Lebanon. We've heard a lot about sustainable peace in the last little while, especially from George W. Bush and Condoleezza Rice. And basically, the two leaders have said they don't want a ceasefire. They want to work towards sustainable peace instead. Now I'm going to explain what this concept is all about. I have 3 samples of water in front of me. The first one is bottled water. Now imagine for a minute you're in the desert and you are dying of thirst and you are desperate for water. In fact, you only have an hour to live. Bottled water is great stuff. It's filtered, reverse osmosis, whatever that means. But what we do know is it's very good for you. All the impurities have been filtered out. It's a very good water. Unfortunately, if you're in the desert, there's not exactly a very good supply of bottled water. In fact, it's very hard to find. So if you're going to wait around and hope that you find bottled water, you are going to die of thirst. So I suggest you maybe lower your standards a little bit. So the second sample of water comes from a well. Actually comes from my well. It's good water, it's tested, smells a little funky, but it's not bad for you. The downside is, if you were in a desert, well water is still very hard to find. Now if you had the tools, you could always dig a well, but you're dying of thirst, remember? So you only have an hour to live. So if you're going to try to dig a well, you're going to die of thirst. So let's skip the well water as well. The third sample is muddy water, and this came from a puddle in my backyard. The good thing about this muddy water from a puddle is it's very abundant. Even in a desert, you can dig around and you can find muddy water. The downside to muddy water, it's probably not very good for you. You're probably going to have some nasty intestinal cramping, and that's not good. However, the good thing about all 3 samples of water here is they will all save your life. The bottled water, we call it sustainable peace. The well water, we could call a brokered peace. A brokered peace is similar to the accord that Jimmy Carter had between Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat in the 1970s. That was a brokered peace. It's a good peace if it lasts. It usually doesn't. The muddy water we can call a ceasefire. It's not a good solution. It's not very good for you. It does not solve any of the problems, but what it does do, it keeps you alive. And if you're alive and you have time on your hands now, you can always work towards a brokered peace or a sustainable peace. In the, I don't know how many years, since 1948, I don't think there's really been a sustainable peace. So to be looking for a sustainable peace at this time where people are dying is probably not a good idea. So the moral of this little story here is that we should be shooting for a ceasefire. We get a ceasefire, nobody's happy, but at least we stop killing each other, and we can work towards a better goal. So, enough with the sustainable peace. Let's go with the ceasefire. It doesn't taste very good, but it saves lives, and in the end, it just might work.